Whenever you need to change how things are normally done, right? Where there is hierarchy, there is power. Power operates in a particular way. Whether it's power, and thank you, John, for pointing out, power in terms of resources, power in terms of people, power in terms of decision making, power in terms of setting direction of what you want to do with your organization or the people you serve. So how we have been thinking about development and responding to development challenges is according to a particular structure that we are struggling with right now. So for the localization agenda to be a reality in this country, on this continent and around the world, for it to be real, for it to be locally led, which means for it to be led by you and you and you, it means we have to change the structure, the ecosystem. We have to change the hierarchy. We have to change how we think about development, how we talk about development, how we write proposals, how we frame the work. And that's why when we say we want to achieve localization, we say it has to be locally led. So the locally led is the political position we are taking, because change can happen in many different ways. So if it's going to be locally led, it means by extension, all of us have a responsibility of then creating the movement that can make that a reality. We are following, right? So your homework, the nugget that you need to take home, is to ask yourself the question, what's my role in shifting, for it to be locally led by me and others? What's my role in changing the existing architecture, the hierarchy, right? So for it to be locally led, we are saying, no longer should the decisions, the resources, the direction, the strategy, the final say start from the donor, go through the INGO, and we are served whatever they want us to serve us and say, this is how you do it, and we follow suit because we need the money or we want the money. So if we want to change that and say, we are here, we are sitting at the table, you said you are committed as a donor to localization, that is locally led. As an INGO, you're committed to do that. So it means we have to collectively transform. So what should be the role of CSOs? What should be the new role of INGOs? What should be the way of thinking about and doing development that is different of the funder? So whether we like it or not, there's an organizational development term that I like. What we all need to do to make localization that is locally led, that is inclusive, that is equitable, that is accountable, that is sustainable in Zimbabwe, for that to happen, it means we have to do what's called constructive deconstruction. We have to constructively change the way we are thinking about development right now. We are resourcing development. We are designing our programs. We are then doing the work. We have to change that constructively. So we are not saying, by saying we want localization to be locally led, we are not saying we don't need the funders. We need them. But how should they transform in a way that is useful, that gives them a new mindset of looking at us and working with us differently? What should we do as INGOs, right, to constructively transform the INGO model and way of doing development or thinking about development and partnering with local CSOs? What should we do as CSOs, because we also hold power amongst ourselves, to constructively change and make sure that the end result, the vision that we have of a localization or a locally led development agenda that is equitable, that is inclusive, that is accountable, we actually come out on the other side with something that's better, that works for all the development actors, but more importantly, the people we serve. So that's my message today, my call to action for the movement building. That beyond the talking, beyond the raising awareness, beyond the other practicalities of keeping the lights on, we actually have to have a movement for change in this country, for localization, using the list of demands that you heard when the session started. Capacity, autonomy, authority, decision-making, people people with talent that you can retain, money that allows you not only to run the program, but to also be able to develop your institutions. So we do have the list of demands. What's left is for us to come together and move together, do that constructive deconstruction of all development actors and make the localization agenda that is locally led a reality. Thank you.